You really only need two things to get started with an IUL. And the better you do step number one, the easier it is when you get to step number two. With most things in life, most of us don't get what we want because we aren't definitive with our decisions. We pay attention to what people are saying, what the news is saying, and we have a hard time trusting that what we want is actually the right decision. And like everything else in life, if you are wishy-washy and following everybody else and not being definitive, you are going to have the same results as everybody else. The very first thing that you want to do is make a decision and be very intentional and decisive as to why that is your decision. So if you want an IUL, amazing. And just as a reminder of how IULs work, it's essentially a life insurance policy that you can use to leverage as a savings vehicle. Why might you want to do that? First, your interest rate is going to be much higher compared to a bank. And second, every single dime that you earn in this account is going to be 100% tax-free, regardless of how much money you get to grow in here. So if you want to grow millions of dollars in here, you absolutely can, and it will never be taxed. I'm excited. My husky back there is excited as well, as you can see. Like any other savings account, you can use this IUL to save for whatever you want. You can use it to save to buy real estate. You can use it to save for retirement. You can use it to save for your child's college down the line. You can use it for all kinds of things. But you want to have one definitive thing that you want to use this account to save for, because that's going to determine how we build this IUL out. An IUL, unlike other insurance policies, it is built from scratch, step by step, keeping in mind the specific thing that the policy owner wants to use this account for. So you want to be clear on what the savings goal for this account is. You want to be clear on when you want to start pulling money out of this account. And most importantly, you want to be clear on what is a reasonable and consistent budget that you can allocate to putting funds into this account for a long period of time. Minimum of 7 years. And again, this has to be funds that you're putting in consistently. So it's not that we're putting in $100 this month, $2,000 next month. No, we want to have a consistent amount that we're putting in regularly for a long period of time. Now, once you've done your first step of really reflecting on why you want this, how it fits into your life, and what your budget is to contribute into this account consistently, your next step is to take that information and have a conversation with an IUL specialist. Imagine this. You go to a bakery and you just walk in and you say, I want a cake, and that's all that you say. There's a big chance that you're going to be disappointed in what kind of cake you get, right? Is this cake for a wedding? Is this cake for a birthday? Is this cake for 10 people? Is this cake for 1,000 people? When do you need this cake by exactly? And like, how many flavors do you want? How many layers? All these different things are going to impact what your cake is going to look like. And the more information you can give this baker about what you actually want this cake to do, when you need it for, and what kind of cakes make you happy, then the more likely you're going to get a cake that actually makes sense based on your event that is going to meet your needs. Similarly, when you're talking to someone because you want to open an IUL, they need to have details from you about what it is that you're trying to do with this IUL, when you want to get this done, and why it's important to you. And if you're not able to comfortably articulate that, then you have a bigger chance of getting an IUL created for you that doesn't really make sense. If you know you want to put money in and buy real estate next year, that IUL house has to be built differently versus if you're putting money in and you're taking money out in 20 years when you retire. Because this IUL has to be built from scratch like a cake, you cannot submit this application on your own. You have to go through either a licensed insurance agent or a licensed insurance broker like myself. Difference is an agent is only tied to one specific company. A broker works with multiple companies, so their job is to find the best fit for you based on what you're trying to do and what your qualifications are. But you need to talk to this person in order to build your IUL for you, and then once it's built out, submit that proposal, which is called an illustration, along with your application to the insurance company. Essentially, this specialist becomes your middleman between the insurance company and yourself in getting your index universal life policy. Because an IUL is built from scratch, step by step, there are many moving pieces that are really easy to mess up if somebody does not know what they're doing. And if you're over 40, there are a few things that could be built out incorrectly that'll unfortunately cost you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So make sure you check out this video right here to find out what those mistakes are so you don't make them. I will see you there.